Hi, everyone. Welcome to Kiki and Kibitz. It's Mary, and I'm here with this week's edition of 90 Days in 900 Seconds, The Other Way, Season 4, Episode 5, Lies Have Got No Legs. If I was going to give this episode a grade, I would give it a B minus, and that is simply for Jamie's facial expressions when Kris said she wanted a knife. But we'll get into that in a bit. So I'm going to set 900 seconds on the timer, and we're going to jump right in. So first, we're going to start off with Nicole and Mahum. And all I have to say, if this man says, okay, my love, one more time, I'm going to poke my eyes out with a rusty knife. Okay, so we start off the morning after. Nicole is in the bathroom for a very, very long time. She's in the bathroom for so long that Mahun and his mom thinks that she has fallen in or something. And Mahun's mom sends him to go check on her. But that's a whole nother story. So I'm going to set up the bathroom scene for you. Nicole is in the shower and she's squeegeeing the water down a drain. And, she says she has to do this to make sure that the floor is not too slippery. And, she says it takes her a really long time in the bathroom to get ready, but she tries to be conscious, because she knows other people have to get in here. But mind you, she was taking so long that Mahun and his mom thought that she fell in or something. So she, has a meltdown in the bathroom. And she's like homesick and she's worried about this whole thing. And this is just the morning after she arrived. Okay. So Mahun knocks on the door and he's like, is everything okay, my love? So she's like, yes, I'm just finishing up. So she comes out and she's not okay. It's obvious that she's not okay. Her eyes are red. It's obvious that she's been crying. And Mahun's like, what's wrong, my love? It looks like you've been sad, you've been crying. And she tries to tell him that, yes, I'm sad. I'm homesick. I'm emotional about these things. I'm worried. I'm worried. I gave up my apartment in LA. I gave up my whole life to move here and I don't know what's gonna happen. And basically he just says, okay, my love. Okay, my love. Okay, my love. If he says, okay, my love, one more fucking time, I'm going to fucking scream. He is googly eyed. I'm going to say this again. He is googly eyed in love with her because she took his virginity and she must have did some type of cartwheels in the bedroom on their wedding night. That's it. Let's call a spade a spade. So they go out to a cafe. Okay. And in his, section of Egypt, there are cafes that are men only. Now, I live in Queens, and this is not a surprising concept to me. I grew up in Brooklyn and in Ridgewood, Queens, where I still live, and I have seen Italian cafes, Albanian cafes, Greek cafes, and Polish cafes, and Egyptian cafes where it is men only. Now, Nicole, who lives in LA, a metropolitan city, is going to tell me that she has never seen a men only cafe. Okay, so this is like a foreign concept to her. Okay, girl. Okay, so sure. So I just want to pull my hair out of my head just talking about this girl. So they go to this cafe. She tells him that she wants to meet his friends. And he's like, we don't usually do this. Like, this is not a usual thing, but okay, Nicole, let's go meet my friends. This was the most awkward fucking meeting ever. And even his friends who were trying to be the sweetest, they even admitted in their little confessionals, Nicole may be the sweetest, nicest person, but we just don't do this. This is not a normal thing for us. So, they like her. They may think that she's cool, but it is just not in It's not ingrained in them. That's what I'm trying to say. It is not ingrained in them. And hey, we're all different. We all come from different parts of the world, different religions, different cultures. Nicole should have done her research. And girl, Egypt is not going to change for you. Okay? Please. Anyway, moving on to Debbie and Osama. And I'm going to say this now. I love Osama because he loves cats. Not a bad word about Osama for now, because he's a big cat lover. Okay, so Osama loves cats more than he likes people, because cats, unlike people, are silent. They express their love in silence, which obviously he hasn't met my cat, who will scream in my face, but that's a whole different story. And him and his family, you know, they have a small farm, 3 cows, 13 chickens, and 1 donkey. He's a poet, and he writes in English to reach a bigger audience. Okay, and this is how he met Debbie. And I'm sorry, my hair is like annoying me. I have to fix this. Okay, sorry guys. So this is how he met Debbie. So before he met Debbie, he had no girlfriends. He wasn't interested in any girlfriends. He just wanted to be alone. So he met Debbie writing English poetry because he wanted to, you know, get his poetry out to a wider audience. And English is, you know, America's first language. So Osama wants to make sure, though, that he knows Debbie better before he marries her. And Debbie doesn't know this yet. Okay, so Debbie thinks that she's going over there with bells on, and she's going to marry her young, you know, her young boy toy, Osama. And Osama's like, lady, I want to know you first in reality before we do this. So let's see how this turns out. And meanwhile, Debbie's son, Jordan, is driving her to the airport wearing a America shirt. Yeah, you heard this right. The guy was wearing a America shirt, driving, not America with the A, but America as apostrophe America. Okay, driving his mother to the airport so she can marry a 24-year-old from Morocco. Let that sink in for a moment. So he's driving her, and her daughter calls, and her daughter expresses her displeasure at the whole situation, a little kinder, a little gentler than her brother did, but still she's not happy. Okay, so now moving on. Kris and Jamie, didn't you get a knife for your 8th birthday? I remember when I was 8 years old, I got a tabletop Pac-Man video game that ran on C batteries. I don't remember getting a knife. Apparently, Kris got a knife for her 8th birthday, and Jamie got a Barbie. So, anyway, Kris decided that she wanted to go weapon shopping. So her and Jamie go out weapon shopping, and she decided that she wanted to purchase a knife like this fucking big. The look on Jamie's face was priceless. Jamie was like, what the fuck did I get myself into? Okay, so just thinking about this is giving me a headache. I mean, okay, so first of all, they're now using a translator device. Let me just rewind back a little bit. They're using a translator device because Jamie finds it hard to understand Kris in person. So they're using a translator device. They go to the store, they get this huge knife. They decide that Kris could have it, but don't put it in the bedroom. Okay? Don't put it in the bedroom, but she can have it. She's going to put it in the case. So, you know, Jamie's a little more comfortable. Jamie's still trying to process all this shit. Okay? The narcolepsy, the night terrors, the neck thing, the pain meds, now the need for weapons. She's trying to process all this, and she's like, okay. So now moving on to someone else who needs to process a lot of shit, Jen and Rishi. Okay. So now where we left off last week, Jen realized that Rishi is like lying, and she is Jenny and Submit 2.0. And I don't know how she didn't watch Jenny and Submit's story and realize that this is not going to work. Okay, so now she's getting ready. Rishi's coming over. She's going to meet the family anyway. Okay, they talked. Rishi picked out an outfit, navy blue, single print, simple, nothing crazy fancy. Jen decides she likes it. Now, his friend Sanjeev is going to join them because it'll look less suspicious if his childhood friend Sanjeev is going to join them. Even the guy Sanjeev is like, listen, I don't think this is going to work. It's going to look even more suspicious that I'm going with you guys. But hey, whatever you want, Rishi, I'm on board. I'm on board for this shit show. Sanjeev is basically like, listen, okay. So they get to the family's house, and the look on the sister's face when they walked in the door, like, yeah, I know what the hell is going on. Then basically Sanjeev just gave him up. Sanjeev just announced that they has been looking for an arranged marriage for him. They've been trying to set him up with someone. And Jed is like, oh, really? So what kind of woman would you want to set him up with? And his mom is like, anyone that's kind and, lists all the qualities. Doesn't matter the religion and this and that and this and that. So how long have you been looking for a woman, to set him up with? Oh, for about the past year and a half. Well, we have a problem here because hasn't Jen been engaged to Rishi for the past 2 years? I detect the lie again. Jen detects the lies again. And according to Jen, one thing she cannot deal with is the dishonesty. It's like, what the fuck is up with the dishonesty? So she is pissed the fuck off, and she's tempted to tell Rishi's family the true nature of their relationship, but she's not going to make his job easy. No, 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 no. And anyway, it's way too early in the season. No, we have to drag this out for a few more episodes, and he has to tell them the true nature of their relationship. So, anyway, moving on to my favorite and only real couple of this season is Gabe and Isabel. And I'm sorry to say, because they are the only real couple this season, we have to have some little producer driven drama. I really do not believe that Gabe is capable of running a business, moving to Colombia, forgetting his logos, forgetting the stamps behind in Miami, and realizing the next day after he arrived. Okay. He doesn't know what a kilogram to a gram to he doesn't know the difference between a kilogram, a gram, or a monogram, which I find that hard to believe. If you're moving to a whole nother country, you've been planning this for a while. This is now a spur of the moment thing. You're moving your whole business to another country. I would hope that he would know. But hey, you never know. I would hope that he would have done the research. So basically, him and Isabel are going out supply shopping because he needs elastic and cotton for his boxers, because without boxers, we don't have product. Without product, we don't have sales. He has sales sitting up in his inbox waiting for him to fulfill. He's stressed. He's stressed out. Isabella's stressed out. I think they make an adorable couple. I think Isabel balances him out. And a lot of their drama is just played up for TV. So moving on to Johan and Danielle. Our last couple of the night. And, I really don't know what to feel about these two. And in this episode, her friend Sophie is coming to visit. And Sophie is the one that brought up that Johan could possibly be a skanky panky. A skanky panky is a guy who works at a resort who specifically looks for an American to bring him here for a visa. Okay, so now Sophie is in the DR to meet Johan to figure out whether he's a skanky panky. So, they sit down and whatever, and she's asking the questions that a friend should. And she brings up whether or not, out of time, whether or not Johan's parents are on him for grandchildren. And Johan says, I believe children are meant to be, God will bless us with children. And Sophie looks at him, rightfully so, and says, you do know how old Danielle is. She's 42. The older we are, the harder it is for us to naturally conceive. And, Johan believes in God. Everything is, God will bless us naturally. And, I get that. His belief in God is very strong. But, Sophie is looking at him like, okay. And I get Danielle's point that the pressure of childbearing is very hard on her. And the older you are, and the more chances there are that you have a couple of miscarriages before you actually have a viable pregnancy. And it would be too much emotionally on her to go through that. I get it. Get it. Johan is not physically carrying a child. He's not emotionally dealing with, God forbid, losing a child. I get all of that. So, during this conversation, Johan brings up that his ex-girlfriend aborted a child. And Danielle kind of looks at him sideways like, I thought you said that she had a miscarriage, not an abortion. Keep that in mind. Okay, so then they go to a botanica where Miss Danielle, who is on Johan's ass about having a budget for his barbershop, spends $325 in herbs and shit for his barbershop, okay? Basically to cleanse the energy and whatnot. So then they start having the discussion about how he just kind of like didn't tell her that the prior girlfriend had an abortion. And he was like, but I did tell you. So this conversation basically turned into a shit show where Danielle told him, I can't trust you. I don't believe, things that you say, and you lie to me. And Johan's like, okay, if I'm a liar, if I'm such a toxic person, you can't trust me, you don't believe anything I say, then why are you with me? And that's basically how it ended. And you know something? He has a point. So that's how the episode ended. We'll see how it picks up next week. Debbie is going to arrive in Morocco and unite with her Osama. Let's see how that turns out. I mean, Jen and Rishi, fucking Hot Mess Express. And that's it. And thank you so much for watching me. Please subscribe if you don't already. Please check out my online publication, wordonthestreetreality.com, for all the hot tea you know that you want. Please hit that like button and share my video with a friend or 10. Thank you so much. See you next time. Bye.